I'm in the Czech Republic, in a city of Olomouc, actually, where our office is located. So, few hours time difference. So hi to Australia.
Hi, and to America and to Canada and all the other countries that people might be listening and watching us from. So you mentioned the office. How far is the office from Prague, which is, of course, the capital of the Czech Republic?
Our office is around 230 kilometers from Prague, but there is very good, actually, train connection. So it takes like 2 hours by train usually. So, not really far away, in fact.
Okay. And why am I asking about Prague? I'm asking about Prague because, of course, that's where the applications for Czech citizenships process. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, they are actually submitted there, or they can be also submitted on the consulate, but in fact, they are all sent to Prague to be decided, in fact. So yes, that's correct. This is where it's all happening. The only exception is actually if the applicant had ever a permanent residence somewhere in the Czech Republic, then it's in different regions. But if they didn't have any residence in the Czech Republic, which is majority of our clients, then it's in Prague, as you said.
It's in Prague. So it's a centralized process for everybody who's ever not lived in the Czech Republic. So if we're talking about someone who's pursuing citizenship through his or his heritage through parents or grandparents or great-grandparents or whatever, they'll go to Prague. There's a special office that manages all the applications.
That's correct.
And what is that office called?
The office is called the Office of the City District Prague 1, and they have the Citizenship Department there, which is deciding about people in this situation. But it's a part of the district office of Prague 1, which is basically Prague City Center district. Yeah.
Okay, but of course, submitting the application on behalf of the clients is kind of like the last step of the process, because prior to that, there's a lot more work that we need to do, before you can actually go in person and submit the application. So what happens once somebody decides to become a client? What kind of things would you be doing for our clients typically?
Mm-hmm. First of all, we actually need to prove their Czech heritage and their kinship to their last Czech ancestor. So we will need to get usually birth marriage certificates, sometimes naturalization certificates, death certificates, and all documents they have at home somewhere, in the box under the bed. So for example, old passports, old Czech Slovak documents, all these things can be useful, and we need to get these documents all together. If some of them are missing, we need to apply to either Czech or some foreign authorities to issue these documents again. Then of course do the translations if the document is in English, for example. Do some notary copies. So basically prepare all the application together, prepare the forms, and then is the last step of submitting it. So it's quite a, I would say, long process, but it's not as hard if you know how to do that.
Right. So it is, I don't know if we want to call it bureaucratic, but it's very structured. And for example, a lot of our clients, I know this firsthand because we've spoken about it, might be surprised that it needs to be submitted in hard copy. There's no such thing in the Czech Republic as electronic submission. So that's something that we kind of need to explain to the clients, where all the forms are filled in, by hand, on paper. Everything needs to be stamped, notarized, certified, and that's the way things go in the Czech Republic, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, right now we are used that everything is electronic. We don't send letters anymore. Almost, we just send emails. If we want to send some documents, even some government agencies actually accept just scan of the documents. So people are surprised, as you mentioned, when the Citizenship Department requires everything on hard copies. But this is how it works, and I'm afraid it won't change anytime soon, actually.
Yeah, and that's probably because many European governments are still wanting to see, the paper, the actual proof of something existing. So the procedure of filing the application is kind of antiquated a little bit in that you need to give them what they ask for. So we tend not to argue with the Czech government, is that right?
Yes, correct. And they are, I wouldn't say suspicious, but they want to be sure that all these documents are actually like originals. They are not changed in some way, authentic, as you said. Because citizenship is, it's quite important decision if the person is citizen or not of the given country, of the Czech Republic or Slovakia. So they want to be 100% sure. So I also understand them, in fact.
And Jakub, speaking of 100%, we've had 100% success rate with Czech citizenship to date. And that is because you are very diligent, firstly, in assessing people's cases. So when clients sign up with us, they are always eligible. We try to make sure that there are no impediments to applying for citizenship or having their citizenship confirmed. And of course, you're also very diligent with your colleague Tom about preparing documentation. So essentially what we try and do, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is give the Czech government everything that they ask for the way they ask for it. Yeah.
Exactly. We are trying for the application to be prepared on the first try, because sometimes when, for example, clients try to do it on their own, consulate can give them conflict information, so they just send a part of the documents, then the reply from Prague arrives that something is missing, so they send it back, and it takes months or even years. So it's good to actually, because we already know what they usually ask for, what documents they will require, what documents they won't care about so much. So usually they just accept the application because it's well prepared. And as you mentioned, we always assess the family tree of the clients to be sure if they are eligible or not, and let the clients know if they are eligible or not, so they wouldn't invest their time and money into something which won't be successful, actually.
Which is not going to happen. And of course, Jakub, you know that I love working with you because of your approach to the task, and you're super diligent. You have excellent communication skills, and I'm not just saying it, but I've experienced that over the last 2 years because you are very much across everybody's case. So if we're talking about a challenge or something like that, straight away, and you're very, very familiar with what's going on in a case. And sometimes you might be working with 10 or 12 family members of the same family. And the interesting thing is that somebody might be born in Canada, the other brother or sister UK. Where else are our clients from? South Africa?
Yes,
Kenya?
exactly. Singapore, South Korea, all around the world, actually. Yeah. I mean, majority is usually from United States, United Kingdom, Australia, but we have much more exotic countries. But the process is usually still the same. We need, as we mentioned, we need to get birth certificate, marriage certificates, some more apostille, some more stamps from the consulate or something. And yeah, I hope that the clients feel it the same way as we do, but I think so.
Yeah. And I think what you mentioned there sounds simple, but we're working across different jurisdictions, and the difference between a document issued by South Korea and America is massive. For example, they may not be necessarily part of the Hague Convention for exchange of documents. So, maybe they don't get apostilles. Like Canada's one place that doesn't, they do authentication. So in your line of work, I guess it's fair to say that you're very much across how these documents need to be prepared and presented to the Czech government. And you've already mentioned translations, of course, which need to be done by a sworn translator in the Czech Republic that has got the right stamp. So again, everything's processed in a way that the Czech government looks at, and they approve the applications, hopefully. How long does it usually take from the day that you file the application to the day we get a certificate of citizenship?
Czech government has, according to the citizenship law, they have up to 6 months to decide about the application. But in some more complicated cases, it can be a little bit longer. So from my experience, it's hard to say, but anything between 3 months and 9 months, I would say.
3 to 9 months. Wonderful. And you did mention, of course, the consulates, and we love working with consulates, right? No, we really do. Most consulates are super helpful, very professional, but sometimes, as you said, they give unclear or slightly conflicting information. So for those of you that are watching, we just wanted to tell you that we work directly with the Czech government in Prague, and also archives. And we have that direct contact because it cuts out some time. Consulates are usually busy, or it's not a priority for them. So when you work with us, we work directly with the Czech government, and that's the office you mentioned earlier. And probably once every couple of months, you go to Prague and file people's applications. But would you agree that the best part of your job is to go and collect the certificate of citizenships?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is because this is the finish line of my work, and it usually takes few months or a lot of months actually to get this done. So this is really the best feeling. I also wanted to mention that the extra value that we bring to our clients is that we are actually able to do the preliminary research in the Czech Republic, which is usually not what the consulate will offer to you. So we can actually verify if they are eligible or not before we will start the process itself. So this is also I think this is the huge advantage of us, that we are actually able to do this research. And, I'm going to archives also very often, actually.
Yeah, right. Because it's, of course, true that some people, and not many actually, have a lot of documents on their ancestors, and some people have nothing. So that range of cases that we get varies from no document at all. Sometimes even people might not know the proper name of their grandfather or grandmother. And on the other end of the spectrum, you'll have people that have the documentations, but they don't speak the language, they don't have the time. They just kind of give it all to you, and you need to manage the case from start to finish. Yeah?
That's right. I mean, it's the best option when the clients have documents from their ancestors. But as you mentioned, sometimes during these, decades, they just get lost. So now we need to find them again in the archives, which are usually very well preserved in the Czech Republic.
Right. Jakub, thank you very much for your time today and for shedding some light on how you work and what you do. If anyone has any questions, they can contact you or your colleague here in Melbourne, Alexandra, who specializes in Czech and Slovak citizenship. So thanks for your time and explaining how things work in the Czech Republic.
Thank you to Eva.